Hello again. Okay, so we are going to talk about the Cal City Boys, but I do want to talk about something that's making headlines, and that something is very personal to someone in our community here as well. Can you guys hear dogs barking? Because I have the window open and some dog is barking down the street. So if you can hear something, just let me know. Or if I'm too loud or not loud enough or whatever. So I do want to tell you guys about a case. Let me just show you. Okay. Woman accused of dismembering man, leaving head and, quote, male organ. We can plainly guess what that is. In bucket after SEX. Green Bay, Wisconsin. She's a pretty girl, you know, but looks aren't everything. Looks aren't everything. Let me play something. I'm just going to stay with StreamYard because I can work it so much faster. So much easier to work. This is brought to you by WISN, ABC News affiliate.
Bay woman is accused of killing and dismembering a man. The criminal complaint says officers went to 24-year-old Taylor Schabusiness's house and found a man's head in a bucket. Police say they found additional body parts in Schabusiness's van. Schabusiness told investigators she strangled the victim before she decapitated him. According to the criminal complaint, Schabusiness told officers it happened during sex. You can read more of the criminal complaint on the 12 News app.
Like Dahmer. So this woman went and was having sex with a guy, and she said there was chains involved. Where the hell did I go? Okay, here it is. And then I want to bring a person up and then we'll talk about it. Maybe. You mess up real quick.
Dr. Krupke at Krupke Dental is 1 in 1,000. He's 1 in about 1,000 dentists in the world who has access.
Why do news stations have to have 96-hour
level of dental care without
ads?
pain and much less time in the dentist chair? Krupke Dental has a small hometown feel. You get 1 dentist for all your procedures. No referrals to see someone else like you do at the corporate-owned offices. The future of dentistry is here with Krupke Dental. He'll show you exactly how simple and pain-free it can be. Krupke Dental, home of laser dentistry.
Good evening. Breaking news involving a death investigation that we first told you about nearly 1 week ago.
This 24-year-old woman, Taylor Schabusiness, faces multiple charges, including homicide and mutilating a corpse. It stems from what police have been calling a suspicious death investigation of a 25-year-old Green Bay man. We first told you about it as investigators worked that crime scene on Stony Brook Lane last Wednesday.
Sarah Thompson was there live all day then and is now joining us live outside the courthouse with new details that we have learned today. Sarah.
Cammie and Bill, there are a lot of ways people are probably describing this case since details were posted to our website early this afternoon. Disturbing, troubling, bizarre at the top of that list. Now, the details of what police and prosecutors say Taylor Schabusiness did to the man they say she killed can only be described as incredibly graphic. Last Wednesday morning, hours before the sun came up, police were called to the Stony Brook Lane home by the woman who lives there, telling them she had discovered her son's severed head in a bucket at the bottom of the basement stairs. The woman told police she'd heard a door slam between 2 and 3 a.m., waking her. She told police she went to check out a light left on downstairs and made the gruesome discovery. In addition to a lot of blood, police reported finding body parts and bags and storage containers in the basement. Schabusiness even telling police, quote, they were going to have fun trying to find all the organs as she dismembered the body. Schabusiness told police she used knives she'd found in the kitchen. Prosecutors say the medical examiner determined the victim died by strangulation. Schabusiness telling police it happened during a sexual encounter and that she did not mean to kill the victim, but told investigators she just went crazy. Police say Schabusiness was smoking meth with the victim before the murder. In court, prosecutors detailed a lengthy criminal record for her, telling a court commissioner Schabusiness had a warrant out for her arrest, was on probation, and was supposed to be wearing an electronic monitoring bracelet at the time of the murder, but appeared to have removed it somehow. Police say Schabusiness was the last person to see the victim alive, sending them looking for her first thing Wednesday morning, finding her on the east side of the city with blood on her clothing and hands. Adding, when they searched her van, they found a box with additional human body parts inside. Schabusiness is also charged with sexual assault for what prosecutors say were acts that happened after the victim had died. She's being held on a $2 million cash bond and is due back here in court in the courthouse behind me in a couple of weeks. Police have not identified the 25-year-old victim in this case and say his family is asking for privacy. Reporting live in Green Bay, Sarah Thompson, Action 2 News.
Sorry, muted. Can you imagine being a mother, waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, half groggy anyways, tired, and finding your child's head in a bucket? This is particularly gruesome, but not only is it particularly gruesome, it's particularly gruesome for a female to do something like this. And then to say they're going to have a fun time finding his organs. Absolutely, I see you. Absolutely. So I'm going to drop a link for Heidi. Excuse me. Hello, hookers. Hello, Tara. He was bound with chains. Some people like that kind of stuff, I guess. No judgment. It's not my thing, but whatever. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. So everyone knows Fibro Queen in here, also known as Queen Heidi. Unfortunately, Heidi has known one of these people, and I'll let you tell a little bit about the story and how you know her and what you know so far.
Taylor grew up a block from my house. She went to high school. So did the victim, by the way, with my oldest son,
How old was the victim?
24, 25.
Okay. Have they released his name?
Yeah.
They did release that.
Yeah, it's Thad or shit. Hold on. Thyroin, T8. Hold on. I have it here because I knew who it was days ago. I don't know him. Shad, Shad, Thyroin, Thyrion.
Okay.
Prayers
for the family.
Taylor's younger brother, AJ, is my son's best friend, my youngest son.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever met her?
Mm-hmm. She's been in my house couple times. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How was she? How was she when you met her before?
She was a typical teenager. When she was younger, early high school, and later in the years, she started getting into a lot of trouble. I remember when she was about 17, she was chased through Howard, where I live, by the police. In fact, she was right in front of our car as this was going on, mind you. Going up on people's lawns, jumping snowbanks. So she's got a long rap sheet. She got into drugs very young.
Was she raised by her parents?
I believe so. Or her grandparents, one of the two. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Right.
My oldest son stopped hanging out with her in the last probably 2 years of high school, maybe less than that. She would always be down at the skateboard park by him and stuff like that. But the guy she murdered was actually her high school boyfriend, from my understanding.
Wow.
She was married. Her husband's in jail. She just had a little baby last year, from my understanding. These are some of the new things that I'm finding out just through the last couple of days.
Do you know how many kids she had total?
One, as far as I know. I emailed or texted my youngest. Some of you met him on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel, Caleb, and asked him how her brother was doing. And he said he's pretty shook up, trying to wrap things around in his head.
Black Lab wants to know if she had a short fuse.
I don't know.
Okay. Hey, little bear. Hey,
I did read today that not only were they smoking meth, they were shooting up trazodone.
I didn't even know people like that as like a drug. Never heard that before.
My heart is broken for this young man's family.
It sounds like
for Tyra or for Taylor, because that's not who I knew.
Right.
And
Drugs change people.
And for her little brother.
Yeah.
That's my son's best friend.
Mm-hmm. How's your son dealing with it?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest son is kind of mind blown. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just kind of really. I texted Justin. I earlier before this. I'm really kind of upset because I was watching Motley's live, and some of the comments I saw from many of you in this room, some of you in this room, and I'm not going to pull anybody out and say anything because
You were hurt.
I'm hurt.
Mm-hmm.
This is really close to my home, to my heart.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that what she did was okay by no means whatsoever.
Oh, of course not.
She deserves every punishment she gets.
Absolutely, she does.
But these kids were friends of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is still one of the family members is. And some of the comments I saw,
Well,
it's just, I get that people were, just remember that
I think we should remember her family.
her family is not dealing with this good.
No.
His family is not dealing. He's the victim.
Of course, he's the victim. Absolutely.
AJ is 22 years old. And he's at my house a lot when my son's, he still comes over when Caleb's around. And how do you think he would feel? How do you think he's feeling right now? Put yourself in his place too. This was his sister.
Mm-hmm.
This was his sister.
Yeah.
And he's got to live in that town. I'm not there right now, but and all this coming down on that family too. And the victim, I mean, God have mercy on that poor family. I can't.
Whenever a murder happens or anything, not only is it the victim, it's the victim's family, and it is also that we all too forget about is the murderer's family.
Right.
Too, because they suffer too, because they don't want their loved one to be taking lives or anything. And we forget about that a lot. We really do as a society.
Robin said it just right. She made everybody a victim.
Yes. And that's exactly what happens.
I don't consider myself a victim.
Well, I think when a murder happens, everybody is we're all at a loss for, we're all unique human beings, and each of us there's only one of us. The mold is broken. God breaks the mold, and that can never be replaced. So this gentleman's life can never be replaced.
No.
And even the murderer, she could have been going down the wrong word, but I don't think that she would be.
I'm a hypocrite.
Why doesn't she think of other people's feelings?
I'm not judging anybody.
But it's fine.
That's fine.
So yeah,
it's just really, where we live is a very small community.
Mm-hmm.
It's It's out a little bit north of the city. It's a small community. And we moved into our house 17 years ago. So, and they were brand new homes. So the area was just developing. So everybody, you know, the kids all went to school together. They rode the buses together, blah, 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 you know. And everybody grows and goes their own ways. And when you know, I don't know how to explain this. When you know this, like, okay, I knew this girl when she was young. And to know this is what she became, it's sad. It's devastating. How could anybody do that?
It's gruesome. It's
to
very
say-
gruesome what she
to sit
did.
here and go, I know her. I mean, it's like you want to throw up, you want to cry, you want to ignore it, you want to, you know, and it's weird. I have no words, really, you guys. I
agree, Georgette. Maybe when she's drug free, it may hit her hard what she did. She may not talk like she did with the police. That's true.
That right there. How she talked to the police.
She was clearly had drugs still in her system.
Oh, yeah, think?
I mean, I'm sure. I think meth stays in your system a long time.
I never tried it. Don't know.
Oh, I haven't either, and I don't. I mean,
you know, my heart is really sad for. Yes, there you go, Heidi. It hurts a mom. It hurts as a mom in the community. That's right.
And she did. She said she remembered, which is not going to be good for her case. I'm just going to tell you that right there.
You know, and would I be thinking differently if I didn't know these people?
Probably. Yeah.
Probably. I can't lie about that. I still think she should be punished to the utmost extent of the law. You know,
listen,
I don't feel bad for her. I mean, she did it to herself. That's not what's hurting my heart.
Right.
You know, it's knowing her as a young girl, and this is what she's become.
Right.
And
What she could have been versus what she become. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're grieving when something like that happens. You're grieving the little girl that you knew. You're not grieving, you know, that's what it's like. But it's, again, it's, you know, it's about.
I mean, I remember this pretty little girl walking in my front door.
Yeah.
14 years old, 15 years old. Okay. That's the last time I've seen her. Her brother, on the other hand, is best friends with my youngest son. And I see him often. And, you know.
Precisely. Jeb. Your heart hurts for the potential you saw, the pain for a family. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And her choice has affected a lot of people. Yeah.
I mean, I feel so bad for the victim's mother, Heidi. I can't tell you.
I can't. No.
And you know, to add insult to injury, what she did was the way she talked to the police. Saying she kept trying to choke him, but he just wouldn't die.
I think one of the comments that I saw, I don't know, it was someone said, was she part of the Freemasons? Come on, people.
That has nothing to
She's
do
a
with
24-year-old drug addict.
right.
I mean,
That's not going to be. That's definitely not going to.
was she part of a demonic cult? No. She is a drug addict.
Is her social media still up?
I don't know. She was smoking meth and shooting up trazodone.
Which are complete opposites. Trazodone is a downer, isn't it?
She
Trazodone
shot him up and she shot herself up. I read it today.
Trazodone is a downer, and then if they're smoking that stuff,
No. I just want to know he did not abuse her. He was not her husband. He actually was her high school sweetheart. She was married to somebody else who's in jail.
they weren't even dating, really, were they?
No, they were boyfriend and girlfriend from high school. They were just friends now.
Right.
They're friends now, but they dated back.
But do you know if they hung out on a regular basis?
No, that I don't know.
Because I wasn't sure. Yeah.
I mean, she was
Absolutely. Absolutely. When it's an
whacked.
upper or a downer, your brain don't know which way to go, up or down, and you go crazy. And she said she literally went crazy.
She said she lost. Well, okay. She says she blacked out, but she was still choking him when she, quote, came to, or what, however she described it. Well, okay, that just contradicts. And she liked it so much she kept strangling him. Mm-hmm.
With a chain.
Yeah.
Right?
They both had collars on, like dog collars. And they apparently in their past enjoyed the choking.
I don't get
when
that.
they're having sex, whatever. And she took it a little bit
choke
on
me and be like,
today.
what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You ain't choking me.
Okay, Vet Girl says IV trazodone, dangerous stuff. That's, yeah. Well, from what I looked at, I Googled it today. I had to Google it because.
Let's Google it. Hold on. Let's Google it together here.
She's had a lot of problems. I think she had a lot of problems growing up. Yes, I will. Yes, she did. I want to say they were raised by her grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly, Julie, Mom. Anybody chokes me, they'll get kicked in the balls.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if we can get to them, this was some people is, I think they're stronger when they're on the meth or whatever, I think they have, is
vintage.
trazodone a strong sleeping pill? Because of its chemical composition of trazodone, it has been found to have a mild sedating effect and is less effective than the antidepressant for sedating effects and is less effective than other antidepressants for treatment of depression. Therefore, trazodone has a greater utility as a sleep aid than it has for an antidepressant medication. Common question: is trazodone and Xanax the same thing?
Highlight Penny Wagner's comment once.
Let me find it. She is at the age of early onset schizophrenia.
Yep. And with drugs on top of that, I wouldn't doubt it.
Which link did Tara post? I was looking. Okay.
No, she did not have a machete. She used a bread knife. because the serrated edge was best. Her,
Hey, Tara, can you put that in private chat? Because it won't let me click it. It just tells me to show comment if I was on. Where was I? What does trazodone do to it? It may help improve your mood, appetite, energy. Trazodone is a very old drug, by the way. The energy level, as well as decrease anxiety, insomnia related to depression. Trazodone.
No, Lindsay, no. You weren't shooting it up in your system either. That's a whole different thing. She doesn't have, Tara says she doesn't have private chat.
Hey, Ukraine is blowing up one of the largest nuclear plants in the world. Shut the front door. What?
What?
Hold on. Hell with it. Let me try this thing.
Someone said look on Fox.
Fox?
Jackie said look at your text.
Fox News, sorry.
Captured Russian soldiers are sending tearful messages to their families back home as the grim reality of war is sinking in for the Russian people. The nation.
Hello? KLW News. Yeah, but are they extremists though? Are they?
Russia is on standby to hit the big nuke button, I heard.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Was left reeling today with Moscow's official announcement that 498 soldiers have been killed in the invasion of Ukraine. The real death toll is believed to be much higher. In a bizarre appearance today, dictator Vladimir Putin went on Russian TV.
The thrust of this speech was all about trying to keep Russians on track with him and with his war.
At one point, he actually got up, then sat down again when he thought of something else to say. Fox News' Sean Hannity appeared to call for Putin's assassination.
New rule. You invade a sovereign country, you kill innocent men, women, and children, you forfeit your right to run a country and you forfeit your right to live.
This Russian POW recorded a message directly to his mother to reassure her he was still alive.
I want to say to my mom, wait for me, I will return.
Published reports say the Ukrainian Defense Ministry has even invited Russian mothers to the capital of Kyiv to pick up their captured sons and bring them home. The chant "No to War" is resounding throughout Russia. In St. Petersburg, this brave old lady stood up to a goon squad of armored police during an anti-war protest. She is said to be a childhood survivor of the Nazi siege of Leningrad during World War II. 7,360 Russian protesters have been detained. Russian troop morale is said to be in a state of crisis in Ukraine. And how's this for a swan song? A mass walkout at Russia's last independent TV news station after learning the government was blocking their broadcast. The swan song music, Swan Lake.
All right, let's go to KLW News. Guys, there is a nuclear plant in Russia, and it went to hell a few years ago. This is KLW World News. Mute your mic, Heidi, please.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you can unmute. That was just a yeah.
I was just
Urban.
Troy, who was visiting with us. He was in the not Afghanistan, but before that. And I was going to ask him what the guys are outside drinking.
Okay, mute again, please. Did you know they said Russia, Vladimir Putin they were not even picking up the dead, the Russian soldiers that died. He's not even picking up his own people. How sick is that? I mean, that's just sick.
Good evening. I'm Judy Woodruff on the NewsHour tonight. A tense moment. Russia's words today from a French official after President Emmanuel Macron held a 90-minute call with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Day 8 of Putin's war on Ukraine yielded unceasing pictures of horror from the north, south, and east of the country. This is the Russian Scorched Earth campaign against civilians and non-military targets came into focus in the face of dogged resistance from Ukraine's military and its citizens. That campaign has also compelled the largest refugee flight within Europe since the Second World War. More than 1 million Ukrainians have now fled their homes for the safety of neighboring nations to the west. From Lviv in Ukraine's west, Nick Schifrin again begins our coverage.
The ruins of a residential building in a suburb of Kyiv, now Moscow's battlefield of choice. Ukraine won the two-day battle for Borodyanka. Russian vehicles still line the main road, but victory earned at appalling cost. 15,000 people used to live in a neighborhood best known for an airfield and skydiving club, now reduced to rubble by indiscriminate Russian shelling on civilian targets and those filming the targeters. Farther north from Kyiv, Chernobyl, also under siege by Russian airstrikes. The target's clearly a neighborhood of homes. The regional governor said in addition to houses, Russian airstrikes hit 2 schools. Dozens died. First responders tried to save who they can and salvage what's left. Elsewhere, Russians have rolled in. The southern city of Kherson is the largest and most strategic city under Russian control. Zanush Hussein filmed Russian soldiers outside of his apartment. He knew it was risky.
I think I should stop recording before someone shoots me on my hand.
The Russians are trying to take over even more cities, including the northeastern city Konotop, 150 miles east of Kyiv. The mayor is Artem Semenichin.
Artem, can you tell us what happened when Russian troops came into your office?
They were demanding I recognize their authority and allow them to patrol the streets, dearm those who have weapons, and detain those who resist. In the end, I told them, just as Ukrainian soldiers told the Russian warship, go f yourself.
The rejected Russians walked out holding grenades in their hands. Semenichin actually escorted them and made sure they drove away.
And do you fear that they'll come back and either occupy or try and destroy the city?
Yes, of course we are concerned, and this concern is not groundless. There's a big unit near our town, and using the weapons they have, they could destroy our town. But we are not afraid. We are ready to fight till the end, till the victorious end, to defeat these Russian cockroaches.
After the Russians left, he rallied his troops, civilians, ready to resist.
All of our cities are like this. All of our Ukraine is like this. We have weapons in our hands, we have armed up, and we are ready to kill occupiers. And thanks to the United States of America for supporting Ukraine with weapons. My weapon is American, and I think the occupiers will be pleased that we're killing them with American weapons.
But Russian President Vladimir Putin today doubled down. After a call between Putin and French President Emmanuel Macron, a French official warned, quote, the worst was yet to come. Putin did not disagree.
The special military operation is proceeding strictly.
Doesn't he look evil?
All according to plan.
Isn't he
But a senior
evil
U.S.
looking?
defense official said today the offensive on Kyiv has been stalled for 3 days, although officials fear Moscow is still planning to encircle the capital. In the southwest, Russian troops could move past Kherson to Odessa, Ukraine's third largest city. In the southeast, Moscow is advancing in multiple directions toward Mariupol, where Russian bombardments have been so relentless, officials couldn't collect the dead or injured. In the east, in Kharkiv, the U.S. believes Russian forces are now just outside the city. Yesterday, a Russian missile struck near the historic Assumption Cathedral. In response, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia would not escape judgment.
They enjoy the fact that God does not give an instant rebuff, but he sees. There is no bunker to survive God's response. Even if you destroy all our cathedrals and churches, you will not destroy our faith in God, in Ukraine, and in our people.
This evening, Zelensky, speaking in Russian, appealed for direct talks with Putin.
You don't want to leave. Sit down with me at the negotiation table. I'm available. Sit with me, but not at 30 meters like you welcomed Macron and Schultz. I'm your neighbor. I don't bite. What are you afraid of?
Earlier today, the two sides held their second meeting. They agreed to meet again, but there was no movement toward a ceasefire. Until then, Ukrainian civilians are preparing for battle. They call themselves the Territorial Defense, just one battalion in the National Army of Volunteers. 23-year-old Markian Paryanak graduated from a military academy and is now an officer in the reserves. Today, he hit the streets. Lviv is usually packed. Since the invasion, more tense and anxious.
We and other guys who have guns and know how to use them decided to patrol the neighborhood. This is my land, and whoever comes here will go to hell.
Do you feel like right now every Ukrainian is a kind of soldier facing off against Russia just in whatever way they can?
Yes, absolutely. This is the task of every Ukrainian right now, to defend our country. Even women and children are trying to stop tanks with their bare hands.
Last Sunday, they detained Chechnyans they called saboteurs. Lviv's mayor confirmed to us that 10 people entered the city with the intention of blowing up a power substation. Back in the garage, among the Ukrainian blue and yellow, a patch of red, white, and blue. 54-year-old Kurt Kimball says he's a retired Army Master Sergeant who moved to Ukraine 3 years ago. He's one of 16,000 foreign volunteers. Why is this your war?
because this is my home now. My family's here, my friends are here. And so I am going to defend my home.
The military runs through Kimball's veins. He says his father served in World War II, Korea, and in his 50s, Vietnam. Kurt says he served in Iraq and Afghanistan. He calls these his new band of brothers.
I never wanted to go to war again. I've seen enough of it. I will admit, after I came home, just like most veterans, we had some troubles. I've seen a lot of bad things, and now I thought that was in the past, and now I'm seeing it again.
So I can tell it's feeling hard for you
Yeah.
right now. It's bringing up memories. Why are you willing to take on a different enemy that isn't fighting America?
I could have left right away. I could have got on a plane, took my family back to the United States and returned when it was over with. But how could I return and look at my friends, I just couldn't do it, and I won't do it. I'm here to the very end with them.
With all due respect to you and your team, you're just one guy, shotgun, small team. What can you do against the Russian army?
Our national resistance is a serious and dangerous thing for the Russian army. I think we are capable of stopping them. All of us are united. You can see me and my small group of friends, but there are thousands like us.
And fighting runs in Markion's family. His grandfather resisted Soviet occupation. Just one story, Judy, of so many Ukrainians who are proud of their history and of themselves. As Zelensky put it today, we do not fill the world with oil and gas, but we have our people and our land. And for us, that is gold.
Just remarkable courage. Nick Schifrin, thank you for your reporting. Nick is in Lviv in Western Ukraine. And now to Moscow, where an intensifying crackdown by the Putin regime is underway against any forms of dissent. Today, special correspondent Ryan Chilcote was in the newsroom of a leading light of independent media in Russia, now silenced by the Kremlin.
It was an editorial meeting like none ever in the history of Echo Moskwy. The entire staff.
So here on Fox News, oh, that wasn't the one. That wasn't the one. Sorry. Let me find the one. Russia, Ukraine, Zelensky says it's a lot of updates. So Russian forces laid siege on 2 Ukrainian seaports and continued bombarding the nation's 2 largest cities. I don't know that one, in Kiev, as Russia and Ukraine battle for the 8th day. Okay, here it is. Russian army is... Oh, shit. Did it take you to Twitter? Okay, no, thank God. Okay. Come back. Russian army is firing from all sides of whatever this is. NPP, the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. Fire has already broke out. If it blows up, it will be 10 times larger than Chernobyl. Russia must immediately cease the fire, allow firefighters establish a security zone. Guys, just so you know, when nuclear explodes, it is virtually forever. Virtually forever. It doesn't dissipate or anything. They were building a big shield over the leaking radiation that still comes out even today. I was reading if they are with China, then their assault on our cyber system that can put us off grid for months. Ew. Sorry for running in here yelling. Thanks a lot, Jackie. Yes, exactly. Forever and ever. Lori Davis, but I am sure.
I got the boys looking over here. They're looking.
What do you mean?
My husband and friend.
Okay.
Find out what's going on.
Ukraine military kills a top Russian general. Okay. Okay, this is brought to you by Fox News. If you'll mute.
You're the guy with the gun, the person who'd do anything to protect the ones you love. But did you know that
Lucas Tomlinson is in the western city of Lviv again tonight. Good evening, Lucas.
Good evening, Brett. Along the coast of the Black Sea, Ukrainians bracing for a new battle for the country's third largest city. The Russian Navy massing a dozen warships off Crimea. U.S. officials believe this armada will bring thousands of Russian Marines to a... Brett.
Lucas Tomlinson, early morning, Friday.
Third largest city. Navy massing a dozen warships off Crimea. U.S. officials believe this armada will bring thousands of Russian Marines to assault the beaches of Odessa, known as the Pearl of the Black Sea. News of the pending invasion has sent locals scrambling. Traffic jams leaving town to the west and northwest picked up by ImageSat International. Before leaving, the airport disabled by placing barriers on the runway to prevent Russian transport planes from landing and bringing additional forces. It's not just Odessa where residents are fleeing. Russian forces now massing just outside Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city.
They destroyed the school where I studied for 11 years. They also hit my house. All my friends are hiding in their basements.
After a call with Vladimir Putin, French President Emmanuel Macron warned the worst is yet to come in Ukraine. He said Russian forces won't stop until the entire country is conquered. U.S. officials say there's a clear willingness by the Russians to hit civilian targets throughout Ukraine.
I feel completely shocked. I couldn't believe that something like this would happen.
Here in Lviv, the Red Cross providing aid for some of the 1 million refugees fleeing the country.
We are helping them by giving them food, giving them things that they need. We are helping them out to escape this terrible situation that Vladimir Putin have done.
Tonight, this city remains under curfew. We have not heard any air raid sirens yet. Many locals fear this war will not end for years. Brett.
Lucas Tomlinson, early morning, Friday in Lviv. Lucas, thanks.
On a side note, that guy's had way too much plastic surgery. Starting to look like Bruce Jenner. Sorry.
Sorry. I'm on the patio, so I'm muting myself real quick.
No, you're fine. I wanted to show you right here. God damn it. Forgive me. Okay. So, Russian army is firing from all sides. No, okay, that's not the one I wanted. Where did it go? Okay. Can you see this? Shit. Let me just do this. The nuclear plant. This is the actual live. The nuclear plant part of it that's on fire. Putin is a freaking thug. Why can't they just go in and take him out? Click. But I wanted to find, let me just go back to that thing that I was looking at. Oh, here it is. Macro. I think that's freaking crazy.
They're looking forward to.
Nuclear plant on fire in Ukraine has the 6 reactors, is the largest one in all of Europe and the 9th largest on Earth. Russia is currently attacking it with mortars and RPGs. Portion of the plant is currently on fire. Russian firing on the firefighters too. You know what? Vladimir Putin is scared, in my opinion, right now, or he not scared, he's embarrassed that the Ukrainians have done as good as they have. And now he's throwing it all. So, let's go back to, let's see what any other news outlets have. Okay. Fire breaks out into nuclear plant. Mayor of nearby town says the fire resulted from relentless shelling by the enemy. Ban it. U.S. lawmakers call for ending Russian oil imports. Gas went up here 40 cents today. How much is gas where you're at, Heidi?
I don't know. Hold on a second.
Russia will no longer sell rocket engines to U.S. companies. Oh, this is sad. Look at this. Satellite imagery shows Ukraine going dark. So this is from space, what it normally looks like. This was Ukraine looked like from space on a cloudless night in January. The night lights from February 25th show a nation gone dark. Look at that. See the difference?
Troy said that when we just came back from the restaurant, he noticed they're at 348. That's what it was when we got here.
See, compare. Cloudless night.
No, they could go up overnight.
What do you mean 340? What's
the whole drive down here? Gas was between 340 something, and I think the most we paid was 358. All the coming from Wisconsin to here, so.
Well, I kind of work in the oil business, and I got a call today that by the end of next week, where I am, gas will be over $4 a gallon. So that would be raising It went from 339.
Cindy Williams just said gas in Kentucky is 370. So that's gone up because we went through Kentucky and it was not that high when we were in Kentucky, nor was it that high in Chicago when we went through.
2 days ago here where I'm at, it was 339, and now it's 379, and then by the end of the week it'll be over. By the end of next week, it'll be over 4.
3, 4, yeah. Wow, 479 in California. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was even higher than that in California, to be honest.
Buckeye, yeah, that's what we paid when we stopped in Kentucky, was 349.
Crazy, guys. I don't
Sunday,
know.
so hopefully it won't be too bad.
Let me share this. See
It will be $4 in Wisconsin soon too, unfortunately. Probably Josie.
This is what scares me, guys. Cuba is one of the very few supporters that that's how we almost went to nuclear war in the Kennedy
regime.
Yes. Yeah, let's look at that.
Russia may be on the other side of the world, but it does have friends abroad, some of them right in our backyard. One of the country's major allies, Cuba, sits just 90 miles from America's shores, and in the past has helped Russian threats hit closer to home. Correspondent Brian Enton is live for us in Miami. So, Brian, Cuba and Russia, they really have some long-standing ties here, but they're not the only Russian ally in our neck of the woods.
Hey, it's my boyfriend.
Yeah, Nicole, there are several Russian allies in both Central and South America. It's not uncommon for there to be Russian ships and subs in those areas. Those allies not far from where I am in Florida. While the war and the Russian military might seem on the other side of the world, it's easy to forget that 3 Russian allies are in the Western Hemisphere: Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Cuba, just 90 miles off the Florida coast. Russian warships have docked in Cuba over the last decade. This is video from the Russian Navy pulling into Havana in 2013. Enrique Amor has seen the Cuban-Russian relationship up close. He was working at the port in Cuba when Russian supplies arrived during the Cuban Missile Crisis back in 1962. That stemmed from an escalation between the U.S. and the then Soviet Union.
The first boat arrived at the dead of the night. The Port Authority went to check on the boat, and the military took him out.
Based on what you saw then, are you concerned now that Cuba has this relationship with Russia?
With that kind of government system, anything is possible.
Please signify those against.
At yesterday's United Nations meeting, Cuba and Nicaragua abstained from the vote condemning the Russian invasion into Ukraine. Russia feels far away for a lot of Americans, but Cuba is just 90 miles off the coast of Florida. Is that a reason to be concerned?
It's possible that Putin would want to move into Cuba the way that Khrushchev did in the 1960s, but I don't think it's very likely at this point.
Barry University professor Dr. Leah Blumenfeld says while the Russian missile crisis does have some similarities to what's happening right now, it was a very different situation. She's concerned for European countries close to Russia, but says at this point, she does not suspect Russian troops would end up near the United States.
I don't think it would be strategically sound for Russia to expand its aggression into the Western Hemisphere in such a way.
And in many ways, Cuba is run much like Russia is. There are reports that there was actually a Cuban who took flowers to the Ukrainian embassy a couple of days ago. and was arrested by Cuban police. Nicole?
Well, and Brian, pretty interesting, abstaining on that vote to condemn Russia.
Yeah, you can look at that two ways. Obviously, abstaining, not necessarily supporting Ukraine, but at the same time, some people are saying it's actually a good sign that they abstained. They're not really making their position known at this point. Cuba also has relationships with Europe, a lot of European tourists there. So the experts I spoke to today said they're sort of waiting this out before they decide one way or the other.
Thank you for watching. Click the red.
Okay. Yeah, so about I'm going everywhere, guys. So about summer wells, because I see you asked about it. Today, someone who does some research for me, we called a local reporter a couple days ago, and she called us back today. And she is going to get clarity on finding out if Candace and Don has an actual attorney regarding, their case with the Summer Wells case, like being questioned and all of that, or if they just have a appointed attorney from the foster care. But it was very interesting speaking with her, and that news will be breaking either Monday or Tuesday at the latest. So we will expect more of that news to be coming out at the early part of the week.
You know what's really scary right now?
What?
What we've just been talking about with the war.
Uh-huh.
And Disney's lighting off their fireworks right now. And all I hear is this bang, 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 bang out the window. And I'm going, what in the hell?
But the thing about it is that's fireworks.
Yeah. Yes, I do. It's still scary, though, when you're sitting here, if you didn't know what it was.
You see, as Americans, we're separated from, most parts of the world. And that's an advantage for us. A huge advantage. So,
yeah.
We've never been used to those kind of things.
I got burnt today. Yep.
I agree, Vet Girl. I mean, in no way that I think he's lying. But we either need him to double down on that statement,
Mm-hmm.
or, because, with any type of law enforcement, they're very measured with how they speak. Because, they want only facts. They don't speculate or anything of that nature. But yeah, I don't believe that the parents are cooperating at all. I don't believe that.
Nope.
In fact, I think the other night, I think it was the night before, before Lawson's interview. That's when Candace said that was the day, that was the first day of the search. That's when Candace said, they don't tell me anything, this and this. I think, in my personal opinion, that was preemptive for her to say that, because I probably believe that she knew that interview was coming out the next day, and that her and Grandis had done an interview, even though Candace didn't. Grandis did. But I think the news probably, lets her see it maybe a day before, or she knew where the questioning was going with the reporter. And I think it was very preemptive of her to say that. You're welcome. I see you.
Thank you, Lisa.
So I just feel like it was very preemptive of her to say, "Oh, they don't tell me anything," and all of that. And for them to say, "Oh yeah, I'm here. Anytime you want to question me, I'm here." I mean, you can say I'm here, and you can be there, but if you actually don't answer the question, hey, you're right. You don't have to answer the questions. But just because you say that, I mean, you actually have to answer the questions to be cooperative. It kind of works that way. So if you're not answering the questions,
Did you, I don't know when she put the video out last night. She was live. Did you see that? Where she's like, Summer was my best friend. Summer was my best friend.
Something, it was very haunting. Kim, please come up here, please.
Kimmy girl.
It was very haunting to see Summer in those flames.
That was, I'm sorry. I know I've seen that video on TikTok before, but to put it on YouTube now, it was very distasteful for her to, no. That's like, that would be, no, I'm not going there. No, I'm not going to say it. There's no comparison.
Kim, can you come up, please?
Kimmy girl.
That's exactly right. I almost feel like she was doing that on purpose to just kind of.
That's right, Heather. Dumb bitch.
Absolutely.
Hi, honey.
Hi, how are you? Hi, Justin.
Long time no talk.
I hear ya. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you, Vet Girl. No crime has been declared. And that's exactly right. And that's what I said. They can absolutely, they have every right to be quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it doesn't help, if you're not cooperating. That's the way I feel.
Well, I just got something.
Kim, did you have any
Yes.
other thing you wanted to speak on that today? Was I missing anything?
No, but I do think that I just wanted to say this.
Mm-hmm.
We never thought that what happened in the West case would ever happen. Like that, nobody predicted that. Nobody thought that. Okay. I mean, how that now has happened, but I just don't shut all the doors to this one yet. This one's a little deeper, I think. And I think we have to think outside of the box, because what happened to her could be staring at us right in our face.
Yes, I do have company, but she's sleeping because she's got a migraine and she's not feeling good.
You see, children just don't vanish.
No.
You can't convince me that a child just vanishes. They don't.
Nope.
And somebody somewhere knows what happened to that baby. And whether or not they have an attorney, if that woman can get on YouTube, she can get on the news, she can write a letter. She can sign her name to that letter. Then at that moment, when she's stating, I don't have an attorney, then Ronnie Lawson get in your car and go to her home, and she can tell you, I don't have anything to say to you. That's her right.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean that she's lured her up. I mean, let's think about it. Let's just be real. Lawson has to go to that house and ask the questions he needs to. And if she doesn't want to answer them, well, then we know she's not cooperating. But to have an attorney.
Now, I will say that I do know that Don did have an attorney, but I believe it was for his DUI case, but the lawyer quit on him.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Kim,
Well,
I'll
it's
meet
not-
you in Tennessee on my way back.
I mean, it's just, to me, I mean, I'm just finding it common sense. Like, I'm not wanting to dig down rabbit holes, but I've been down a few today myself. And if I could put some puzzle pieces together, I mean, in my opinion, there's something more to this, guys. And I'm sure that you know, we can all discuss it later. And when we find out about the attorney, yes, okay, we know in the state of Tennessee that once they file a petition to take your children away, you are given the choice to have a public defender. So she has an attorney for that. I mean, look it up yourself. I did. But when Ronnie Lawson speaks, I'm thinking in my mind, it's a defense attorney, somebody who's going to help them through this because of accusations. And that's why they're not cooperating. Well, we need some clarification because she doesn't have one, she says, you know?
So, Vet Girl, what do you think is happening on this? I would like to ask you. Do you think Ronnie Lawson is lying? Oh, she can ask for an attorney, but hiring one is different.
Absolutely.
A public defender cannot be appointed unless a crime. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. But my question is, why would Ronnie Lawson say she has an attorney and she's not cooperating? And then Candace say, no, I don't have an attorney and I am cooperating.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, if he's needing answers or he needs a question answered and he wants it, well, Candace is on TV. She's on YouTube. I'll answer anything you want. What the hell, why aren't you asking her then?
That's right, Sarah Smiles, right there. Well, if she wants to hire a lawyer, plenty of people keep sending her money and buying gifts. She probably has the cash.
Yeah, but what benefit would she get if she had an attorney? Would you really think that he would advise her to go on YouTube?
Hold on.
No.
He didn't lie. She can say, I need time and money to get an attorney to talk to you. Yes. Yes. I mean, that's absolutely true. You can say I need time to find counsel. Yes.
But that doesn't mean you retained counsel. There's a big difference in looking and retaining to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course. There's a big difference.
Look at ICU said.
Yeah, I was looking. I think she said she had an attorney because she couldn't prepare for questioning. Really? Why do you need to prepare for questioning if your kid is missing and just asking? I mean, you have every right to. I'm talking about my opinion on this part. Absolutely. That's exactly right. She has yes. Listen, Candace does never have to speak again if she doesn't want to. You know what I mean? It's up for the police to prove the burden of guilt. You know what I mean? It's not up to Candace. But I'm just saying, in my opinion, that makes a parent look extremely suspicious. She's following the law, as far as, what her rights have afforded her. But yep, I agree with that, Bling.
Tara said that she told Jamie she had a lawyer on his channel, which is I think the Stand, right, Tara?
Predators of Predator Nation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is true. And that's a very important point, ICU.
Mm-hmm.
Once she invokes the fifth, she can't change her mind. It's not, oh, I can tell you this today, but I can't, but I don't want to tell you that part. You invoke it or you don't.
No, the predators. Okay.
Yeah, no, I played that the other night. I was the one that played the with his where she said she did have an attorney. I wasn't sure. That's true, vet girl. They may not know a lot, but they know how that system works.
Yes.
So true.
They do.
My thing is I just, the public needs, to know clarification on this, because there's, one party saying she does have an attorney. Candace is saying she doesn't have an attorney. Ronnie again is saying that she's not cooperating, and Candace and Grandis is saying, listen, I'll cooperate. Come up here, ask me questions anytime you want to. So one of them can be right about that. You know what I mean? As far as the attorney, yeah, she could be looking for an attorney, but how long are you going to be looking if you're just looking? Oh, Kim fell off. There you go.
Yeah, I fell off.
Yes, she did. But again, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, and maybe she was talking about CPS attorneys.
That could be.
Because I don't want to ever put words into someone's mouth that they didn't say. I'll give my opinion with it, but I don't want to put words into her mouth. I'm just speculating of what she may have meant. But, in that interview, she didn't seem like she was in the best headspace.
Hello, Eileen.
Now, if a grand jury requested them, it is game on.
Well, how could you get on YouTube night after night after night knowing that you told Ronnie Lawson no? Help me understand that.
Can I say
How?
2 words to you?
They
Well, yeah.
don't care.
Dumb bitch.
Damn you.
I had to do it. You know I did.
Well, I just don't understand. Like, if he's telling you that she's not cooperating, but she's getting on YouTube every night and I love Summer and whatever else she talks about. I mean, let's face it, I
was my
watch it.
best friend.
But, why in the hell is she doing it? I mean, it doesn't make it. 1 + 1 is 2. This doesn't make sense to me.
Thank you, Shuby's mom.
Yes.
It's weird.
That girl. I mean, as soon as CPS gets involved, the kids automatically are appointed.
It's a guardian ad
attorney.
litem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I honestly don't know if
Yes, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
parents are. I mean, I guess the parents wouldn't be afforded an attorney unless there was charges, right?
No, not in Tennessee. If your children are removed, you're able to get an attorney or a public defender if your income proves that you can get it when your children are taken.
Mhm.
I sent you that. If you look in your email, I sent the law, it's like 5 things that happen. And if you get your children taken away,
When
you
did you
do
send
have
that?
the right. Oh gosh, let me look. It's number 5. Let me see. I'll tell you what it is.
Yes, Tara, child advocate, lawyer, whatever, guardian ad
Yes.
litem.
Okay, so it's gonna say rights
Oh.
for DCS investigations.
Would you
in
guys like to
Tennessee.
see Candace Bly's father?
Oh, yes. I've never seen him. Is he quite handsome?
I'll let you decide on that.
I had a drink for you.
This is his obituary. What? Why did it go there?
Hey, I went to a Mexican restaurant. We had margaritas. What do you want?
Is that where you got your shirt?
No, my friend brought me this back from somewhere.
Oh, this is the video to it.
Yeah, that's the funeral.
They're not going to show him in the casket a lot dead, is he? Are they?
No. Where's the picture to it? Hold on. I had just a picture. I was trying to.
Heather, I'll do that.
Justin,
Mm-hmm.
if you just search Candace's father, I'm sure you might be able to find it.
Let me see here.
In your email.
Huh?
Check your email for that.
Okay. You got. Oh, here it is. He died May 5th of 2021.
Not even a year ago.
Just weeks before Summer's disappearance.
Here he is.
Well, Grandis looks just like him.
Why does Grandis? That's her husband.
I know what I'm saying. They look alike.
I don't think they look anything alike.
Well,
He looks like I think he looks like a nice man too.
he looks like a cute old man.
Yeah.
Oh.
On Wednesday, May 5th, 2021, Kenneth James Bly, loving father, brother, and grandfather, passed away peacefully at the age of 85. Ken, often known as Jim, was born December 6, 1935 in Springfield, Massachusetts, moved to Connecticut, and most recently has been longtime resident of Grantsburg. He enjoyed fishing, playing pool, and being with family. He served in the United States Army. Thank you for your service, sir. And worked various jobs. Ken loved to tell jokes and was well known for his sense of humor and quick wit. He looked like he kind of looked humorous to me.
I'm sorry. What did I just read?
What?
He was 85.
Yes.
He was 45 when he got Grandis pregnant, who was 20. Okay.
A small celebration of life will be held on May 21st, 2021 at 2 p.m. at the New Hope Lutheran Church, 685 WI 70, Grantsburg, Wisconsin. Is it Wisconsin? Yeah. 54840. In lieu of flowers, please send contributions to your local charity. Arrangements. Okay. So,
Psst, you got a super sticker.
oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at chat. Thank you, Donna, so much for your super sticker, honeys. Thank you, Lovey. Appreciate it. Sorry, Queen. Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to mention, Heidi?
Nah.
Okay. Let me block this person. But yeah, he looks like a little, very comical. That when I saw him, he just looked like a.
Yeah.
To me, he looks like he would be about like 3'6", and just a cute old man. You know what I mean? I guess. And how old was? Oh, well, I have a picture of Candace. I think it's Candace and Grandis, and I guess when Grandis was younger, and that's probably him in that picture. Wouldn't you think?
I got nothing.
No problem, Donna.
I do think they could pass for brother and sister or cousins.
We don't do draw.
We don't do drama.
No, my neck is tense enough. Trust me.
Did the obituary say survived by daughter Rose or anything or something else?
It just said he liked to spend time with his family.
Oh.
That's literally all it said. Kim, do you have anything you want to say?
Hold on. Just give me a second.
The channel, the network RT, Russian television.
Yes.
RT. It says CNN was reporting America lays off most of its staff and stops production.
Well, I'm just worried as hell over this.
Yes, Precious.
I want to let you know real quick that on the Kenneth Bly thing, it does mention all 5 children. It says he has 5 children, and it does mention Rose. It says Kathleen, Kenneth, Candace,
What?
Jeannie, and
Must have been
and Rosie.
I didn't see that.
If you just scroll right
Um,
past this picture in the second
Let me
paragraph
show
at
you
the
guys
end.
this.
It's at the bottom line. And then it says Ken has left behind 5 children: Kathleen, Kenneth, Candace, Jeannie, and Rosie, his sister Geraldine Hines, and several grandchildren. So Rose is actually Rosie. That's actually, both of them are pretty names, but which website are you looking at? We're looking at the same one. I'm looking at his obituary. Let me see.
Look at this. Look at this. I still grab from a live feed at the nuclear power plant in eastern Ukraine. A fire has been seen at a nuclear power plant in Kiev after tanks opened fire with heavy weapons on the facility. Footage in early hours of Friday morning. A government official told the Associated Press elevated levels of radiation are being detected near the site of the plant. The official spoke on condition of anonymity as the information has not yet been publicly released.
Is it normal to be a little anxious? I mean, how does everybody feel? I don't know. I feel like, what do you do? What do you feel like?
I trust the Lord with all my heart.
Me too.
Well, then I don't worry.
Well, I'm not worried, and I do, but there's just that part of me that just tells me to take my house up. I told you. I've been freaking out.
Poland to Romania, sure.
And I mean, I'm okay because I'm not afraid to die, and I'm not afraid. I do believe that when I'm absent from my body, I'm present with the Lord. In my opinion, I do believe that, but that's not helping me not be like, what the hell? I look at the TV and I worry that my neighborhood will look like that. You know what I mean? Or someone's neighborhood would look like that.
I just put the link in the private chat. I wasn't sure if we were looking at the same obituary page information or not, but one I found for him, I just put the link in the private chat. And that's where it mentions the 5.
Well, Kim, you can always come to Wisconsin. We got some psycho killers there.
And I want to know, the reactors, how many are active?
There's 6 reactors. Yeah.
Chernobyl's going, and the 6 reactors that the other one are going.
Well, do me a favor.
There's 11 in total in Ukraine. There's 11 power plants in total in Ukraine.
All right. You are my friends, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So just call me and say, Kim, it's time to put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye because I can't do it no more.
Jesus.
Okay.
I mean, I'm being serious. It drives me nuts because I get scared.
Okay. Can you see this? Yes. Okay. This is Ukraine, the yellow part. Well, this isn't Ukraine anymore, and this is being debated over here. But here is Poland. Here is Ukraine. Here is Russia. That girl, what did you... Oh, hold on. Let me see if she typed something. Yes, Vet Girl, what did you want about the Vet Girl says, yeah, it's normal because all of this is abnormal. That would be for sure. If it's dark, shut down, it's happening, but radiation continues. The plant, how close to border? Oh. You mean how close is the nuclear plant to the border? Is that what you're saying? Let me check.
You're looking at around about the middle east of the country, a bit down to the south, closer to where the waters are.
Do you have it pulled up?
I got a good detailed map. I kind of
Here.
been following all this
Okay.
since day
Go
one.
ahead and share it.
Freaking out.
Lord. I'm going to jump down.
Are you okay?
Yeah. My husband just came into the room. And
what?
No, not that. Not that. No. Not that. He didn't know I was on live, and he just started stripping his clothes off over here. And I'm like, excuse me.
Good night, Heidi. Have a great vacation.
And
he's standing at attention for you.
no. But
NPP
and the other ones are in
supporter.
bed too. So yeah.
I mean, you just wipe the grin off your face.
Fine.
Okay?
I mean, you're on vacation, girl, so have some fun.
Oh, we've been enjoying ourselves. It's just been the two of us since we left on Saturday, and then Troy and Sarah got here today. And
He said when they go on vacation, they like to really just chill out and lay by the pool and stuff.
that's all we do.
Yeah.
That's
No.
all we don't.
That's
we
good.
went out to dinner tonight to a Mexican
Are you going to share
restaurant.
that, Precious?
Yes,
Sorry. Good.
absolutely.
Bling says booty call.
Yeah. I'm a little burnt. No. 1 hour in the sun today.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, there is the Ukrainian map there. So you have it where they have the two major power plants. You have up here near Chernobyl, up here. This is where Chernobyl is up in here. Let me help you. So where Cherniva is, Cherniva. So Chernobyl, so Chernobyl's up in here, up in this area, and then down in this region, down in this area, is where the other where the largest nuclear plant in Europe is located, is down in this region. So this shows incorrectly because this used to be a part of Ukraine, but Russia took it over, and I think that's Crimea, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah,
Crimea is at the very
one's up here, and then the other one's down around this area. Is where the big one is down here, in that area.
So it's more closer to Belarus than it is.
It's more closer. The funny thing is it's more closer to Russia.
Yeah.
And which is bad. And in the Mediterranean Sea and Turkey and all the other places down there. So, but they are messing with both of them. Chernobyl, which is up here, Chernobyl's north of Kiev, and then that other one is right around Dnipro down here.
Pebble says, how close is it to the U.S.?
Oh, thank God, people, a bunch of big ocean away.
Yeah. Like drill a hole through the earth and you'll
Big
probably-
ocean. Big ocean.
But
But
no, damn sure not far from Alaska.
Yeah, but for me, it's just if he tries to mess like with that at all, it's just gonna it's just gonna decimate all of Europe. It's just gonna. I'm hoping he's, like I said, that second one being the biggest one. It is closer to Russia, but then again, so is Chernobyl close to Russia. I mean, it's close to Belarus, but Russia's right there too.
Guys, Russia has 9 time zones.
That's
That is
insane.
insane.
9 time zones. It's the biggest country on earth. Second is Canada.
Yep, that's true. I've googled that. Yeah,
Third is kind of a tie between United States and China. They're virtually,
Yep.
But like, you know, it's still, I think it's, I forget the percentage of how much Russia, they have like, I want to say it's like 4 or 5% of the entire earth. in as far as mass.
Oh,
So,
population. In
no,
population?
no. I mean, as
Oh,
far
in
as land
land
mass.
mass. Land
Of the,
mass.
yeah.
Yes. Well, that's what
So,
he's. Well, that's the thing.
oh, here we
Is
go. Hold on. Let me show you.
that's what he wants to read. That's the whole point. Is that's what he wants to do. He wants to revert and go back to
He
1991
wants
when
to go back to the
the
Soviet
Soviet.
Union.
That's right. When the Soviet had the war and these other people branched off, like Moldova, Ukraine, Belarus, Latvia. So he wants to basically redraw the map because he looks at it like because all these places are now joined the
He
EU.
said it was the worst thing to the 20th century. And also, guys, you have to realize he's a dictator, essentially. And when you have democracy and someone who is partnering with the West and getting closer to the West and seeing that, oh, we can actually choose our leader and stuff, and we can have a democracy, and democracy works well. And when, you have a humongous, the biggest country on earth as far as, 11% of all earth, is, when you have democracy working on this country right beside of you, Vladimir Putin doesn't like that too much.
Well, that's what it was. Like I said, what it was is he wants to basically redraw the map back to 1991, where Ukraine and Belarus and all these other places, Moldova, were part of Russia. And so what happened was when like Sweden's a part of it, so there it is. He turned around and when he found out that the Ukraine wanted to apply to be a part of the EU, which means he'd be a part of the European Union, which means they wouldn't use Russian money anymore. They'd be using the euro. That's when he said, because then he said, no, it's when he says I'm competing with the West, he doesn't mean West meaning like Canada, like America. He means West meaning the moment where his border lands, like I said, in like NATO countries and all that countries, democracy begins. He wants more land back. He wants to reverse it and go right back to the old ways. And it's just not going to happen.
Right.
And that's what happened. He just, Ukraine applied to join the EU and he didn't want them to join the EU. And so that's why he attacked Ukraine, was because they want to join the European Union.
Yes.
I mean, no offense, but the euro's a pretty good dollar there. So a lot of people join the euro for the, it's just. And then he turned around and then he threatened Sweden. And then I think it was Sweden and Norway, and said to them, if you decide that you want to join the EU or the NATO, I'm going to come after you as well. And we are just like, are you kidding me? And the funny thing is one of them is part of it.
What's that? I'm sorry.
And the funny thing is one of those countries is already a part of the EU, but the other one isn't. So Norway is already a part of the EU, but Sweden is not. So I thought it was funny that after he turned around and did the screen, then he turned around and said, and threatened Norway and Sweden, said, if you join the EU, you're going to be next. And I looked at my map and I'm like, dude, Norway's already a part of the EU. So good luck on that one, but Sweden is not.
That girl, I did not know the EU denied Ukraine. Probably because do you think it's because they just didn't want to get in tensions with Russia at the time? But now they're like, hell with it. Let's
I didn't know. Last time I saw they were signing paperwork or whatever applications paperwork. That's the last thing I heard.
They did not sign with NATO. They just signed with the European Union though.
Yeah.
They just signed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's global. Exactly, Amy. Globalism. Yeah. Yes. It just the way they conduct business and stuff.
Yeah, that's how they have the euro money, the euro countries, and the euro dollar. So they want to join the European Union, so then they can stop using whatever Russian or type money they use, and now they can do the euro currency in their country, which would have brought them more money and more, more stuff to help build their country even more. Because that euro is worth a good exchange rate, I'm telling you.
Right here is the nuclear reactor. One of the nuclear reactors, that girl.
Yep.
Has 6 nuclear reactors, making it one of the largest of its kind in Europe, and accounts for about 1/4 of Ukraine's power generation. One report said that the fire was about 150 meters away from one of the reactors. My God.
Okay, so can I ask a question?
No.
Okay, good.
What is it, honey? I'm just kidding.
No, because you know how I am about this. So tell me what would happen
Hold
if
on,
the
just put on your
fire.
tinfoil hat and turn your camera on, please, and I'll do it. Just kidding.
Who, me?
Yeah, just kidding.
I don't know. I seriously, I don't like what would happen if one of these things were to catch fire. No idea.
It's one
bad.
word that's not even a word. I don't even think. Kaboom.
It's bad. If you want to know, seriously, want to know, best thing I can just tell you is go watch a documentary or two, or go watch a couple of videos on the history of what happened at Chernobyl, and you'll see how
Let's do that.
quickly,
I'll show you because I
how
just watched
quickly
one
the
the other
damage,
day, and it
how it
was
does it.
amazing.
It's a fast killer, a fast, painful killer on so many levels and so many ways. It's just nuclear
So,
radiation. It's just, oh man.
so according to the wind, is that how it works? Like
Yeah.
it
That
spreads?
wind, yes, the wind pushes it further out. Well, that's why they had to close down. Parts of Ukraine was closed down, like Chernobyl, Pripyat, all that had to be closed down because, and it's still closed down to this day, that nothing can live out there because it can't survive yet. It's still contaminated.
See, I am so stupid to this stuff, and
If
I
everybody
just
can,
don't know.
if everybody can mute their
Everyone's different. I'm a big history buff, so that's why I know this. And my grandfather served in the Second World War, so I learned because of him.
This is brought to you by 60 Minutes. This is their work. This is very interesting. It's 12 minutes.
60 Minutes Rewind.
Some tragedies never end. Ask people to name a nuclear disaster, and most will probably point to Fukushima in Japan 3 years ago. The nuclear meltdown at Chernobyl in Ukraine was 30 years ago, but the crisis is still with us today. That's because radiation virtually never dies. After the explosion in 1986, the Soviets built a primitive sarcophagus, a tomb, to cover the stricken reactor, but it wasn't meant to last very long, and it hasn't. Engineers say there's still enough radioactive material in there to cause widespread contamination. For the last 5 years, a massive project has been underway to seal the reactor permanently. But the undertaking is $750 million short, and the completion date has been delayed repeatedly. 30 years later, Chernobyl's crippled reactor still has the power to kill. It's called the zone, and getting into it is crossing a border into one of the most contaminated places on Earth. The 20-mile no man's land was evacuated nearly 30 years ago. Drive to the center of the zone today, and you'll see a massive structure that appears to rise out of nowhere. It's an engineering effort the likes of which the world has never seen. With funds from over 40 different countries, 1,400 workers are building a giant arch to cover the damaged reactor like a casserole. It will be taller than the Statue of Liberty and wider than Yankee Stadium, the largest movable structure on Earth. Nicholas Kai is overseeing the arch's construction.
You know, when you think about it, you had this massive project going on, all these people working here, billions of dollars being spent because of one day 30 years ago.
Yeah. You're right. It was the biggest disaster of the nuclear industry, yes.
The disaster was sparked by massive explosions that tore the roof off of Chernobyl's reactor number 4, spewing radioactive dust into the atmosphere. The Soviets drafted over 500,000 troops to put out the fire and clear the nuclear debris. Thousands got seriously ill from radiation exposure. Today, 3 decades later, the cleanup continues. But as this recent video shows, the reactor is still packed with poison. Heaps of gnarled steel and concrete, pools of nuclear fuel that have hardened into a dense mass called the elephant's foot. There's still so much radiation coming from the reactor that workers have to construct the arch nearly 1,000 feet away, shielded by a massive concrete wall. When finished, the arch will be slid into place around the sarcophagus, then sealed up.
We will push it in once. The average speed it will be around 10 meters an hour. So it's approximately the speed of a snail.
Right, but that's pretty rapid considering the size of this thing.
It is, yes.
But the construction itself will have to move a lot quicker. The old plant and sarcophagus are falling apart. Just 2 years ago, a snowstorm caused the roof of one of the buildings to collapse, forcing workers to be evacuated and raising fears of further contamination. Radiation is not subject to the usual rules of life and death. It is virtually eternal. When Kai took us on a tour of the site, we were fitted with dosimeters to tell us how much we were being exposed to. Suddenly, a sound we didn't want to hear.
Hey, this beeper's going off.
No, it's not. It's normal.
You're sure?
Yes, I'm definitively sure.
I don't like a beeper in Chernobyl. I don't like that sound.
Building the arch under these conditions is challenging enough, but some of the biggest obstacles have nothing to do with radiation. As violence gripped Ukraine this year, one of the arch's contractors backed out. The project is also $770 million short and has been plagued by repeated delays. No matter when it's completed, vast stretches of the zone will never recover. This is the city of Pripyat, 2 miles from the reactor. 30 years ago, the population was 50,000. Today, it is 0. Pripyat was where many of the plant's workers lived, grateful for their posting in a town that was the model of Soviet modernity. 9-story apartment buildings lined this boulevard. They're still there, but you can't see them anymore. The forest has taken over. A vision, perhaps, of what the whole world might look like were people to just disappear. It was springtime in Pripyat that day in 1986, and an amusement park was due to open in a few days. Andrei Glukov lived here then.
So that Ferris wheel never had any kids in it?
Never had any kids. These bumper cars on your left
right.
had never kids on it too.
When you talk to your former neighbors, what do you call it? The accident, the catastrophe?
We just call it 26, which was the date of the accident.
26?
26th of April.
Sort of like the Americans call 9/11.
Exactly.
Back then, Glukov worked for Chernobyl's nuclear safety division. He took us on a tour through a part of the plant that had not been destroyed. He was off duty that night, but what he saw when he drove past the damaged reactor was like nothing he or anyone else had ever seen.
This was a terrifying picture. It looked like a sunset in a distance about 100, 200 yards from you. And this was the glowing core of the reactor.
That was the first and the only time you saw it?
No, that was the first time when I realized the scale of the disaster.
Glukov told his family in Pripyat to stay inside and close the windows. Soviet authorities covered the area with secrecy, told people they had nothing to worry about. But 36 hours later, over 1,000 buses were sent in to evacuate everyone. Authorities told people it would only be for 3 days, one of many lies. The people never came back, and Pripyat is being overwhelmed by the elements. One of the only things still recognizable is that old Soviet iconography. Drive through the zone, and you'll find that many villages suffer the same fate as Pripyat. A row of simple markers has been planted with the names of each one. But amidst this wilderness, the strangest sight of all, people. Just a few. Ivan Ivanovich and his wife Maria were evacuated to an apartment block near Kiev after the accident, but couldn't take it. They weren't made for the city, so 2 years later they came back. Today, there are 3 other people living in this village, just a few miles from the old power plant.
When you decided to come back to live here, did anyone tell you it was dangerous?
It's really okay here. You know, when I lived in that apartment block, I got sick all the time. But when I came back here, I was fine, and I've been fine ever since.
You should never leave home.
I would be long gone if I'd stayed there. I'd be in the ground.
The story will continue after this.
We are going to go watch.
Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I've seen a few documentaries that they've done on Chernobyl, especially when you can find like the original footage, the black and white footage, and you're just like, wow.
Guys, we're gonna watch AV Watchman's video. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, please go subscribe to him. He is an awesome person. And he has worked for these boys nonstop. And if you guys will put his link in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it.
Meantime, the case of Orrin and Orson West has prompted the birth mother of two unrelated children in Kern County's foster care system to step forward with concerns of her own. 17's Robert Price spoke to the parents of two other boys who they say are lost in the system.
With the adoptive parents of young Orrin and Orson West now accused of their murder, another set of parents whose children were put in the care of the same people are asking, what about their sons? Virginia Williams says she has not seen her sons, Guillermo and Eleuterio Parra, ages 8 and 10, for 5 years. And at some point, she says, they were placed in the foster care of Trezell and Jacqueline West. That's the couple charged Wednesday in the alleged murders of Orrin and Orson, ages 4 and 3, after more than a year of investigation that included combing the desert around the West's home in California City. By that time, DA Cynthia Zimmer says Orrin and Orson had already been dead for 3 months, which leaves Virginia Williams in anguish. Where are her boys? She and Israel Munoz, the boy's stepfather, say Kern County Child Protective Services isn't giving them any answers.
We don't know where they are. I'm asking for proof of life.
Proof of life, a phrase usually associated with kidnapping. Williams says a court official told her in confidence that her son's initial foster care placement was with Trezell and Jacqueline West, and that scares her.
Been there 6 years now. They were adopted all out in 2018 to the West. And then from there, I've seen and heard nothing from them.
Kern County Human Services tells 17 News they can't comment on any aspect of Williams' story. Munoz says the whole system is unfair.
It's breathtaking, but that's how CPS does things. CPS will come in your house, they break up families, they don't need to be broken up. Yeah. And then they give these kids away like they're puppies. I mean, where's our constitutional right?
Williams says the situation is part of a bigger issue, helplessness born of multi-generational incarceration. She says she was raised as a ward of the Los Angeles County court system from the age of 2. She has been to prison herself, and she says one of her sons, raised largely in foster care, has developmental issues that she fears will impact his life. And the chain continues.
My father and my mother went to jail for prison for murder, and I've lived with my grandma. Being that I am a warden to the court, every child that I have, by law, they have the right to take. Because I am a state baby, and this is the flaw that we should fix today. Because just because we are victims and we had no mothers, that should not hold above our head.
Guillermo and Eleuterio Parra, where are you? It's a simple question their birth mother would like an answer to. In Bakersfield, Robert Price, 17 News.
A footnote here just before time, DHS responded to our request for a clarification. We were told that the children of wards of the court or those who were once court-supervised minors are not subject to removal from their homes without additional cause.
Holy effing crap. I'm speechless.
I just said I'm speechless. I don't have any words. I have absolutely no words right now.
God forbid they did something to those other babies. They thought they could get away with it again. I want to go to their... This dropped 5 minutes ago. Okay, this is the affidavit.
So do we know exactly then how many children in total they were foster parents?
Exactly,
to?
There could be more. Maybe they was adopting children and doing this, or
Can you
SEX
stop?
crime?
Can you be a foster parent, say from like 2 different states, and then kind of not be aware that you're doing that from 2 different states?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Okay. Six children in total. 4 foster kids and 2 biological. Wow.
Okay, here I'm gonna play this. Let me mute myself before I play. Okay, I'll unmute because it's not playing. I'm trying to find it. Maybe. Spinny spin. It's not letting me. Unmute, you mother chicken. It won't let me unmute it. That's the second time.
Oh, you see the buttons? It's in the corner there. The volume, when you press play, the volume's in the lower, there it is. Move over a bit more. The far, just beside the pause button in the far left.
Right here, right here.
Yeah.
No, it's not doing it.
Oh, you're supposed to click it. It'll turn it off and on. It's not?
No, I know that. I do it 1,000 times. No, it doesn't.
Maybe try to refresh and do it. Sometimes
I've refreshed it twice. It'll let me like. It'll let me pause it and everything else, but yeah, let me go to this and see if it'll. Florida driver blames Putin for speeding.
What website is that, Justice?
KGET.com.
Oh.
See if you can share it and play it.
Yeah, I'll try it.
KGET.com. It just won't let me unmute it. Adjust the volume. Never seen anything that wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Shocking case of Jacqueline in Chernobyl West this morning. Entered not guilty pleas in courts to the 5 criminal charges filed against them for the disappearance and presumed death of their 2 adoptive sons. 17's Christian Galeno joins us live outside the Kern County Superior Court with the latest. So, Christian, what happened in court this morning?
Yeah, Moses. Well, the West made their first appearance 48 hours after they were arrested about 17 miles west of Bakersfield, and about 24 hours since DA Cynthia Zimmer made that shocking announcement of the presumed death of boys Orrin and Orson West.
Will you give up that right so that your case can be set for trial on May 23rd, 2022?
This was the first time ever that the adoptive parents Jacqueline and Trezell West and a member of the biological family of Orrin and Orson West were in the same room.
This is the first time I've ever seen them physically, and it gives us a little more comfort to know that they arrested them. Just staring at them, man, I just, just how can y'all hurt these babies?
Are you Trezell West?
Trezell West is represented by Timothy Hennessy.
Jacqueline West? The defendant is present. She's in custody.
Jacqueline West by Alexia Torres Stallings. Prosecutor Eric Smith asked that all reports be sealed and a gag order issued, barring attorneys, investigators, and witnesses from publicly commenting on evidence. Court documents list the circumstances that the West now face, which may lead to harsher penalties. But with offense reports sealed, specific details will not be known until the trial starts. Details like if the West may have induced one of their children to help or assist in the crime.
The defendants are both a significant and substantial risk to the public safety.
Judge Chad Louie ordered both be held without bail and scheduled trial for May 23rd, but given that the defense counsel has only just been assigned, that date will likely be postponed.
I want to find the boys' bodies. That's what is going to give us closure. If something happens to them, we're not going to ever get closure. So we want to keep them as alive as possible because we need the bodies.
If convicted, the West faced 30 years to life on murder charges. Zimmer refused to say if anyone else was going to be arrested in this case. Law enforcement has not found the bodies of either of the missing boys.
They need to pay for what they did. There is monsters like the ones that are in court right now, but there's a lot of parents that are not the monsters. We love our kids. Kids should not be taken from a loving, caring home.
It feels good, though, to see them sitting there handcuffed in those brown suits or whatever. That's where they belong.
Now, a motion for the gag order is scheduled for next week. For now, reporting live in downtown Bakersfield, Christian Galeno, 17 News.
Anything else you need me to play?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, if you can think of it, let me know. I'm feeling like a karaoke DJ here.
Hey, Mr. DJ.
What about good on? I wanna dance with my baby. Come on, it's Madonna, man. It doesn't know Madonna.
I just got a little precious girl place from a crisis nursery tonight. Oh, God bless you. Just a girl, God bless you.
I think there's a special place in hell for people like the West.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And to think, guys, this may not be the only children.
That's heartbreaking. Yeah.
That girl said, turn it up, need a dance party.
Yeah. That's just, I'm trying to understand how these people even passed. What were they able to show to qualify and pass themselves to be?
To me, this is modern day. It's a legal way that some of these families pimp out other people's kids. They get a check for them. I think they should have to show proof of all the money that they spend on these kids.
No, like I get that. I'm saying more than that. Like saying I don't know, like I've never been a foster parent, like I said, so I don't know the stages you have to go through to be accepted as a qualified foster family. And that's what I'm saying. I wonder on the test or how good these people poker face this, because I mean, wow, they got approved not for one, but 4 children.
Listen, I did we did our home study kit. That's what they call it. And they come in, they inspect your home. They do background checks. They do a couple interviews. You have to get your fingerprints done. You have to get drug tested. I don't remember what else. It's been a couple years since I
Do you
did it.
remember any point in time if they did a psych evaluation at any point in time?
I don't think that they did.
Okay. Now, I don't mean a psych evaluation meaning in a general sense whether there's something psychologically wrong with you, but I meant a psych evaluation meaning talking, you asking questions they can
I
psychologically.
mean, they ask that, and they ask what kind of medications you're on.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. To me, in my opinion, yeah, of course, yeah, they ask for references. Yes.
That's what makes me wonder how these two slipped through the cracks and they didn't realize that these two people were not going to be generally good foster. Like, I mean, they must have put up a really good act. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they must have been really good, an actor and an actress, and must have had their stuff lined up, to get approved to be foster parents for 4
But
children.
I will tell you now, they are lowering the standard, in my opinion. Shut up. Shut up. Just posted a new video. Y'all got to see this. More kids missing from the West. Oh my God.
Well, so if that's the case, that might be the two that the family's talking about there, their 2 children.
AV, is it the one at the on the W? What was that site I gave you? Do you remember? Oh, hold on. The KJET one. Oh my God, AV. They did the same to my adoptive mother in 1960. I don't know, but it's just insanity. It's just insanity that they let that they're. I mean, like, we need to find those kids now. The potential. We need the proof of life. It's too much.
It's a lot. That's a lot. That's really a lot.
What is that, Tara? Come up,
Said,
please.
what?
Come up.
What? Is that what he said on B? Okay, I know. Okay, right. The live stream, yeah.
What does she mean by that?
It's apparently BHB's. It said whatever she's going to be here on the panel, but basically it's a phone call conversation, and I don't know. I didn't hear much of what was saying, so I'm in here, and I guess she's playing it now for the first time, and it's them two talking on the phone. Betty. I'll be polite. Betty speaking to Benny. I know. Like I said, this is crazy, man. And stand where I stand 8 months later, I want nothing to do with you, Benny Keys. Nothing to do with you.
AV Watchman, remember when the neighbor told you that they gave 2 kids back? Maybe it was them, and they never. Oh, Jackie, good looking out. Yes. Have you ever thought about that, AV?
Remember?
God bless you, AV. Guys, please drop his link in the chat again. If you guys have not subscribed to AV Watchman, you guys are really missing out. He is the real deal. He pounds the pavement. He's had his life threatened and numerous things, but he still keeps it pushing. He really does. Good God.
I heard that too, Tara. I heard that too. Yeah, she said that. Yeah, she said, I don't mind you. I don't mind you, Betty, but it's Molly. I can't stand Molly. I was like, I'm freaking out of here. I'm like, this is stupid. This is so freaking stupid.
Are you talking about Betty saying that?
Yeah, she's playing it. She's playing. I guess they had a phone call conversation recently, and basically she's playing the phone call conversation between her and
They
BK.
couldn't stand Benny Keys.
Yeah, well, guess what? Tonight she's playing a live stream of a recorded conversation. Apparently, they talked most recently.
And then Benny, he told her to basically go scratch.
Yeah, well, there it is. But if that's what he said, I want to know about that. What do you mean that he said not even up the driveway? Oh.
Jackie, he says he's thinking about that. I hope we find those two babies and they are safe. And you know what? They could even, if they, God, I hope they're alive, but they could even, tell along with the bio kids probably that, just how they were raised. AV, brother, that's all it takes is someone with a camera. Who cares? That's all it takes. That's all it takes, brother. It's too much. The other night when I was watching his stream, I really wanted him particularly, but all of us as well, to be able to see them slap those silver cuffs on those bastards. That would have been so satisfying.
I agree.
Every time I see another pair of handcuffs go on a parent, then I knew from the start that they're the reason why their child ain't here, I sleep a little bit better. There's a few more people I need to see get arrested that I know that they're the reason why their children are no longer here.
Yeah, I agree. Let me check something. I think I reported on. Did I report? I reported on Tyler McMillion, didn't I? Oh no, I haven't reported. Here, we need to look at that as well. I wanted to show you guys this. I'm trying to remember. Show you this piece of work here. Tennessee father arrested after leaving 2 young children in vehicle, resulting in 1 death. Jackson, Tennessee, a father was indicted this week in connection with his 4-year-old child's death after he reportedly left the juvenile unattended in a vehicle. According to the U.S. Marshal Office, on August 21st, 2021, Tyler McMillion allegedly left the 2 young children, ages 4 and 2, unattended in a car. The 4-year-old died as a result of the incident, the U.S. Marshal Office says. On Monday, February 28th, McMillian was reportedly indicted on charges of first-degree murder, aggravated child neglect, reckless homicide, leaving child unattended in the motor vehicle, and child neglect. According to the U.S. Marshal Service, McMillian was taken into custody from the home in the 600 block of Garball Drive. He was reportedly booked into the Madison County Jail. Asshole.
Correct. It's every single day. Every single day.
And it's not just once a day, people. There's
You know
multiple.
something?
You're talking multi every single day. Multiple.
I was at Sam's Club one time. You've probably heard me talk about this. and it was the middle of summer. It was 90 effing degrees outside, and there was this big old, the old like 70 model cars. They look like a big boat. You know what I mean? Does anybody?
Yes, I do.
Okay. They look like a big boat. They're really big cars. And Sam's Club has a bay where you can pull up and load your stuff. Well, there was kids that, the front seats, you could still fit 3 in the front seats then, you know what I mean? And the back seats. And there was, there's kids piled in that thing.
Oh yeah.
So
No seatbelts.
There was, I think, probably 5 kids in there, and none of them was older than 10, 11. None of them was. And they left no engine on, left the just cracked, And the first thing I did was call 911. And the second thing I did was go in there and said, you need to call over your intercom right now. And let me tell you something, guys. I don't care. I don't care what people think about me when it comes to things like this. Most people, not most people, a lot of people, when they're in a public setting, they don't want to upset somebody or whatever. But listen, these are children's lives. It takes like 3 seconds for a car to be hot in the middle of summertime. So they got in trouble. They definitely got in trouble. And I think CPS got involved in everything with that. You don't leave these kids in a hot car.
Up here in Canada, the police you can call the police if you see people leave their pets in their cars on very hot days with no windows. You can call the police for that, and they'll come and bust the window open, or you can bust it yourself. Like
Same here.
It's the law. Child or pet.
Same here.
Exactly what it is here.
Listen, if you don't, I know it's hard to bring kids in stores. I get it. I have 2. I get it. But listen, there's no way in hell I would ever leave my kids in the car, even with an air conditioner on, by themselves. Me going into Sam's Club, if I'm standing outside or something, I know I leave my air conditioner on. That's a different thing or whatever. I can see them with the air conditioner on, but I'm not going to go shopping around a 200,000 square foot building, for God knows how long. And, so yeah, they can kiss it.
Here, not about a year or so ago in Wisconsin, they passed a new law that if you see children or pets in a car and they look like they're in distress, you can actually break the windows of that car now and then call the police.
Yeah, you don't get charged for it. They expect you to do that because they're like, by the time we get there, it could take a couple minutes. It could be too late. So absolutely, you don't get in trouble at all for it.
Yep. Yes. And you cannot believe how often it happens with pets in the summertime.
Well, yeah.
It's sad. Leave your pets at home, people.
Yeah, if you don't leave the air, something. Paul's car. He's got. Okay, he's got. It's got an air conditioning mode, and on the GP or like on the big screen, it says, "My owner is away." It literally says this, or "My owner is away," and the AC is on, and then it tells the temperature of the inside of the car. For pets, it's called pet mode.
That's nice.
Oh my God, that's
I love
cool.
it. That's brilliant. Why not?
That's for that's the Tesla one. But it's very good.
Well, I mean, it's Tesla. I mean, you better believe it'll come with them and then some.
Yeah, but yeah, I always thought that was really cool, and it it keeps the
I love her. I can never understand it either. Like, I love being with my fur babies as much as I can. But for me, it was like, if I knew I was going places where, I can't stand seeing those people that are like, they're going to a fast food place or the corner store and they just take their pet and they just like tie them up outside. I'm like, or the grocery store, like those things. You're going, why don't you think they'd rather just be at home, like just relaxing than being like out in this weather and like tied up outside of a store, like watching cars and people go by
I
for
mean,
10 minutes.
I've had my Jaja and I've taken her into Lowe's. I've taken her into Sam's Club. I've taken her into pet stores.
Because she's a little
little dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I look at that, and I'm just going like, why don't you just leave your dog at home? Like, I'll see that sometimes. People will take them to fast food places and like tie them up outside and then go inside and like eat a burger, like inside the window. And I'm just looking at this going, why not leave them at home? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I carried that pug everywhere when she was a baby, in a baby like thing that went over your, like across to you.
Yeah.
And I would put that pug in there and I would go everywhere with that pug. She went to sleep.
Yes.
That's why she's so damn attached.
Yeah.
I never left her home.
I just walk in. I don't ask her if I put my animal in here or not. I just put her in the cart or Carrier 1. Luckily, she's small enough to where she doesn't like hurt my arms or anything. So, Jaja, my dog, she loves to go. She sees me like get my bag or my keys, and she's like, "Oh, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going?" And she just jumps right in the car.
Is that like most cars? Most dogs, since they see that, they're just like, car ride. I swear to God, they must know it, and they just and they have to look at them and go, "You're not going." And then there's either they are or they're not. But for that few moments, that absolute, oh my God, we're going to the car. Where are we going? Where are we going? It's priceless. It's priceless.
Yes. On that case, speaking of the car, this is from the usmarshal.gov. The McMillion gentleman, if you would, I wouldn't say gentleman, but I'm just being kind. He was not only charged for they're saying homicide of the 4-year-old, but not only that, they are charging him on 2 counts of child neglect because of the other child. And I'm sure the other child probably wasn't far from death. I mean, if one died, I mean, it's probably not far. Went to the resident of the Western District of Tennessee. Okay, so this is Shelby County Sheriff's deputies. Okay. Very interesting. Well, if the Marshal Service is in it, it's going to be taken really good care of.
Yes.
Because they don't mess around.
Mm-mm.
And especially when it comes to kids, and I don't blame them.
Mm-mm.
So.
We had a family.
Know where those
well,
boys
I'm not gonna say
are.
that. Yeah.
What was that? I didn't hear either one of you.
Go ahead, Precious.
Oh, I just said I know. They know where they know where those boys are, and if they just have any tiny bit of any goodness in them, just for the sake of the biological family, like let them know where they are so they can be buried properly. Like it's just. I mean, it's not their kids. That's the hardest thing. It's somebody else's. It's like you're forcing them to not be able to get anything, like any closure or get anything from this. It's just, you did it. Just let these families be able to bury their loved ones. Like just, ugh.
Yeah.
Hopefully whoever talks to them will get that information. I can only hope,
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, I've been on here 2 hours and 35 minutes, so I'm going to call it a night.
for your time as
few
always.
things to do, of course. Thank you for coming up, Precious Chaos. And
Yeah, I
Tina,
just want to let you know
Well,
because it
good
did
night,
show
y'all.
the 5 kids' names, and I was all like, hey, and I was kind of reading it. I thought we were reading the same article from the same website, and maybe we were reading 2 different,
Yeah.
same person, but 2 different.
Yeah,
Eventually,
sometimes they
I
shorten
was
them,
like,
you
hey,
know.
look at this one. This one says there's 5 kids. And I actually thought it was interesting because I've always thought Rose's name was Rose. I never knew it was Rosie. Rosie or Rosa? I'm trying to remember what I said. Rosie or Rosia. Either way, I just never knew it was spelled that way.
I didn't either.
And that Candace actually also has a sister that's named Janine. Very interesting as well. So 5 kids.
Very interesting. Guys, if you haven't already hit that like button, the thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it if you would. It's a free way to help your boy out.
It's free love.
Free
Free
love.
appreciation. Showing
Yeah.
your love. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
you,
everyone.
Justin. Good
You
night.
guys. Thank you, guys. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring about the victims, these lives that are sadly taken that matter. Every life matters. God bless you all. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see you somewhere in chat later, I'm sure. Take care.